What up, everyone? You know who I am. Jack Slater, the comic outlaw. Yeah, back again. And we're doing a wrestling review. Yup, we're doing a WWE review. Because let's face it, who else makes DVDs until AEW maybe gets something going? Hint, hint. Anyways, we are reviewing the Ruthless Aggression era. Yes, there was an era after the Attitude Era, if you didn't know. And this was it. Now, a little backstory. We had the Monday Night Wars, and anybody who is a wrestling fan has heard of the Monday Night Wars between WCW and WWE, which gave rise to the NWO, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, DX. It was a big booming time for both wrestling industries, but of course only one could win. Warner really didn't want wrestling after they took over. Time Warner, after they bought everything, Ted didn't have the power to keep it. It kind of got flushed. And basically it went down the drain after Vince Russo went there. It's a whole thing. They have a bunch of DVDs on them that I might review a few, but there's a lot of history on it. I mean, a lot. This is what happened after. Now, when they did buy out WCW, they had an invasion angle, and it sucked. Now, I'm going to explain why. You see, people like Hogan, Sting, Mysterio, Big Papa Pump, the Outsiders, a bunch of the core guys, they had these contracts paying them millions of dollars just to sit on their asses for a year. And why wouldn't you take that? So, WWE decided to push with the invasion angle with a bunch of basically jobbers and new guys. And it really didn't work. I mean, they had a few good people. They had Booker T, they had Diamond Dallas Page, which they used terribly in a stalking the Undertaker's wife angle. For all the crap they say about WCW, WWE has thought of some stinkers too. Now, this is a 2-disc set, which is sort of disappointing. The Attitude Era discs were 3 big, but I guess I don't know, there's not enough to cover, because there certainly is. I mean, in this disc they only go over 5 subjects. They talk about the rise of John Cena, what happened, like a recap of the past. That's one little show. The rise of John Cena, the rise of Evolution, Big Show, and of course the Civil War between SmackDown and Raw. So you guys can check that out. Check it out. Now, a lot of these were important. If you watch this show, you know that I'm not the biggest John Cena fan. I enjoy booing him. Well, he always seems to go against the people that I root for, like Eddie Guerrero or Triple H, or Well, actually, when he was fighting The Rock, I didn't care either way. I wasn't the biggest Rock fan either. Stone Cold. Anyways, Mick Foley. The stories, the documentaries are actually really cool. It gives you a behind the scenes, and there should be more. I mean, this doesn't cover half of the stuff. At this time, the Ruthless Aggression era, there was the rise of King Booker. Undertaker came back as the Dead Man, the biker mode, which some people liked, some people didn't. Big Evil was in the house. The SmackDown, the brand split. Now, this was important. This is actually what got me interested again, because Raw and SmackDown were kind of running out of juice, and they were featuring the same people. The brand split was the best thing they could do, and they ended up taking certain people and keeping them on SmackDown, and certain people keeping them on Raw. And I was a SmackDown fan more over than Raw. I mean, Raw had Evolution, Raw had attractions, but SmackDown had the up and coming stars. Eddie Guerrero, the Undertaker was a mainstay there. Christian, there was a lot of up and comer. Kurt Angle was there. That was the place where John Cena got his start. And then it was also sort of the death of the tag teams, or like the Attitude Era tag teams. For example, during the brand split, Dudley Boys were split up. That was the first thing they did. And this is like teams like the Hardy Boys ended up going their own way. Jeff ended up eventually being champion. And, you know, everyone showers Jeff with accolades, but I think Matt Hardy had an excellent career. He had a great feud with Edge. And Matt has always done, I like Matt Hardy more over than Jeff over the years because Matt just seems to know when to reinvent himself more over than Jeff does. Kind of like the same thing, you know. It's kind of like a variation of the same thing, you know. Well, that's just my opinion. Of course, Jericho and Christian broke up. Edge and Christian, sorry. And Edge went off to do his own thing. He had a feud with Matt Hardy well, over a girl, Lita. And you see, there's so many other stories that they can include besides these ones. So I'm hoping to see more discs. There's enough for a 3-disc set. I'm a little disappointed that it's a 2-disc set. I mean, it's cool. It's good. I mean, I'm not the biggest John Cena fan, but it's good that it's in here. He's necessary for the history. I would have liked to seen a little bit more. I'm a big Evolution fan. I know that they're trying to restart the Four Horsemen and AEW, Elite Wrestling, and that's cool, but I don't think you can do it better than the way Evolution did it. I mean, Evolution did a fantastic job in modernizing the idea for the Four Horsemen. It didn't last as long, but a lot of the iterations of the Horsemen, some of them didn't really last that long. You can watch the review I did on the Horsemen one, and you can hear what I have to say about that. Yes, but I'm hoping for a little bit more. The SmackDown, like I said, was my favorite. I thought the brand split was a good idea. Like I said, it gave rise to people like Eddie Guerrero, which I love Eddie Guerrero. I also did a review of his disc too. And I'm hoping for more because this 2-disc thing just kind of sucks. I would like to see a JBL one. Now, I know JBL gets a bad rep. He's a bully. He's this and that. But, man, he's just such a great villain. And all the La Migra stuff, Eddie Guerrero was helping him with that behind the scenes. So it's an interview, people. I mean, dig deep. Like I said, there's so much good stuff on it. I mean, Rey Mysterio came into his own. I think, there's so much more they could do. The Miz, for example, kind of came up at this time. So there's a lot of different people they could focus on. And, of course, they can talk about the Big Show. There's so many more topics. Like I said, I'm very disappointed that it was only 5 things. But like I said, for what you get, it is good. You just feel a little disappointed because you want a little more. And I love Vince McMahon's speech. I love how he gathered everyone together in the ring and told them it's about ruthless aggression. Now, a member of a certain club, I know all about ruthless aggression. That's how one survives in this world. And these men did show ruthless aggression. And women. But that was another thing too. This was kind of the death of the women's championship for a while. I mean, the quality in it really went downhill for a while, and then it kind of came up, and then it went down, and then it came up, it went. So, like I said, there's a lot of changes. This is worth buying. A lot of good stories, a lot of good background. I hope there's a volume 2, maybe a volume 3, 4, 5. They're only going to do a 2-disc set. There's no wrestling matches. It's all documentary. It's kind of like the Monday Night Wars one, except they don't have Triple H or Sting or anyone talking. Michael Rappaport, I think, is the guy who, kind of gives you the intro and this and that. But all in all, it's a good disc. If you're a fan of the era, you will like it. But like I said, 2-disc was just a sort of a rip-off. The special features were kind of so it leaves you wanting more. But then again, shouldn't every movie, every disc, every dynasty, every show leave you wanting more? Right? Anyways, you know who I am. I'm Jack Slater. Hit me up. Subscribe, guys. Man, spread the word. But, as always, I will catch you on the flip side. Yeah.